goddess, muse, and culinary queen, Danielle C. She is a multi-dimensional artist that has changed the way that we look at food and source, always centered by source, the most high, in a universe seemingly devoid of it. Her authenticity always shines through, and her ability to share real stories bubbles to the surface. Through her lens, the simple act of cooking transforms into something so sacred, a ritual, a daily practice of love, remembrance, and revolution. And here is how Danielle got to this point today. She has been a pioneer for years. For the past 10 years, Danielle C. has been one of the most prominent guides to source and light, recently giving birth to her daughter. The goddess, revolutionizing chef and earth steward, is changing global life. With over 100,000 in her Instagram community, the artist is now authoring her next chapter with her first physical cookbook, Raw and Ripe. Please welcome Danielle C. to the show today.
What a beautiful introduction. That was so lovely. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I am so honored to speak with you. I have to just say, this interview has been 5 years in the making. Yes, sis, I've been following you since 2020,
Mm.
and in the time of following you, when I first found you online, the revelations, can I just say?
Mm. Mm.
Remembering the sacred act of what we are putting in our bodies, the community that you have fostered online, the truth that you are bringing to our screens, into our real daily life. Let's Talk Food is your IG handle, but it is a sanctuary where you have crafted and curated beautiful codes of divine magic, and that is always your main ingredient.
Mm.
I remember when I first received your brunch, it was Mastering Vegan Brunches Cookbook. Oh my goodness, I made the beautiful third eye waffles with the little honey. Yes, yes. It was such a divine experience. And now your physical cookbook is out now, Raw and Ripe, your raw vegan cookbook. Congratulations, and thank you so much for being in conversation with me.
Ashe, thank you for having me. Thank you for sharing that divine reflection of all the codes that you have received on this journey with me. I'm just so grateful to hear it reflected, just my intentions of what I do and how I show up, being reflected in my sisters is always a gift. Give thanks.
Ashe, thank you so much, Danielle. You started this incredible journey of your raw vegan lifestyle, which some who may not know is consuming goods and foods, raw vegetables that are not cooked. They don't include animal products. You started this as a 21-day challenge,
Mhm.
and I want us to talk about the value in taking back your power and reclaiming it through food.
So yes, I started with a 21-day challenge for myself, with myself, 21 days of all raw foods. After those 21 days, I was just feeling so good. I was vibrating so high. I'm like, I'm gonna do 30 days. So I did the 30 days. 30 days quickly became 45 days. That very quickly became a year. That very quickly became 2 years. And within that time period, I had one of the greatest quantum leaps of my experience, which is conceiving my first child. And so I was raw for a year before conceiving her. And then when I got pregnant, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to continue on this path. This is my lifestyle now. So all throughout my pregnancy, fully raw vegan. First of all, I did not experience the very normalized pregnancy symptoms like morning sickness, adverse, you know, like craving
Cravings.
like craving hot Cheetos and things like that and random pickles and maybe I ate a pickle, but I wasn't like, craving like fried whatever. I was craving seaweed, grapefruit, and oranges, y'all. My gosh, this is a year of cleansing and reprogramming my cells, reprogramming. And not only am I doing this on a physical level, when you do things with intention, you add a level of magic to it that can't be done outside of your own mental and spiritual presence, if that makes sense. So it's like when we do things with knowledge and intention, it adds a level of magic to it and enhances the experience that much more. So I've been in this study for almost 10 years. So, well, more than 10 years at this point of just pure study of food, of herbs, of lifestyle practices, of using my own body and being as a form of self-study, testing on myself. For example, like getting pregnant and being fully raw, I hadn't seen anybody doing that. Maybe I'm sure there are many women who are fully raw and conceiving babies, but in my experience, I hadn't met another woman who was my true reflection on that level of what I had been guided to do in my experience. I'm not saying this is the right way or the wrong way, but this is how the Most High was leading me in my experience, and it's my responsibility to be obedient. So in my obedience, I was shown that this is what I had to do. I had to continue on this path of being fully raw while growing the next generation inside of my physical body, which is that in itself. Can we talk about the power of women? Like, I don't understand how we're not, now that I have a child and have gone through pregnancy, I don't understand how we're not screaming this on the top of every building, the power of the divine feminine. How are we not really standing firm in just honoring the mother? How are y'all out here disrespecting women? I genuinely don't understand when you all came from our womb.
Wombs.
Every single one of y'all, I birthed every single one of y'all. So I have come into that high level of awareness too. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole other, okay? Because yes, my gosh, like that in itself, just pregnancy and carrying life and bringing forth life and creating bones and blood from scratch inside of your own body while also showing up for your people every day, like still showing up, doing your sacred work, still showing up, getting yourself dressed, still showing up. Women had like literally making children while also nurturing other children in the house, like just a divine experience, but then also doing this while fully raw and letting Mother Earth really nurture me. Oh my goodness, I'd never seen it before. So I had to be my own clinical study. I couldn't Google my
Wow.
symptoms. I couldn't Google, oh, well, is it normal to be having like this high level prophetic dreams at this point? Is it normal to be experiencing like certain things that I was experiencing through my pregnancy while being fully raw? I could not Google those things. I could not call up somebody or email somebody who maybe went through the same thing to get some advice. I had to go to the Most High and confirm every moment of the experience. Is this normal? All right, I'm getting the sign that yeah, I need to continue. That's how that was. It was I had to become the blueprint. I had to become her. And so I actually wrote a book called The Lotus Rebirth
Okay.
and outlining my entire experience of just it's a raw vegan pregnancy guide because like I said, there was nobody I could call on or Google my experience. I had to become the blueprint and I wrote it all down. So I released that with my cookbook. I didn't make an announcement about that though. I
Okay, okay.
Whoever just hears this or sees it on my website, it'll find and reach the women and the men who is just
Yeah.
well, after I gave birth to my child, I did a home birth, free birth, which was also guided by the Most High.
Yes.
I was shown in my dreams exactly how I would give birth. I was shown how many people would be around me. I was shown that I was at home, and this is my first child, and, I'm just like, "Well, that's just my path then. I'm gonna give birth at home. It's gonna be 4 to 5 people around me. It's not gonna be no medical professionals. It's gonna be me and my ancestors and whoever is meant to be in that space." And that's exactly how my birth happened. Blissful divine experience. And that's all written in the Lotus Rebirth. So after giving birth,
Mhm.
um, about 3 months postpartum, I started introducing warm foods into my regimen,
Okay.
some cooked foods into my regimen because and this was, like, something that I really was meditating on for months and months and months, and it was really challenging for me to transition into cooked foods because my entire chemical makeup had changed. Everything about me changed. Physically, mentally, spiritually, everything changed. I'm coming into this place now where my body is, like, really coming back integrated, back into the warm food, so I'm doing a balance of both raw and cooked foods, and right now it feels really good, and wisdom is knowing when to pivot.
Mm.
Wisdom is not ever being attached to a particular idea of what you think your life is supposed to look like or what you think is supposed to be, but really wisdom is allowing for divine guidance and following divine guidance. So I was shown that it was time to pivot, being that I was in a new season of my life. And this is not to say that this is going to be how it's going to, how my life is going to be forever. But right now in this season, in order for me to be my most balanced version and receive the help that I need from community to support myself and my star seed, this is where I'm at. And I feel really good here now. Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Shay. Yeah.
Giving a second to just the divine femininity of this world sourced from God and the power of our womb. I just give thanks for that. Thank you so much.
Shay, absolutely.
What a journey it has been.
Mm-hmm.
And especially where we are in the world right now, like you said, you couldn't go to Google. So many people, we know that our food is poisoned, the food coming from the system. So many people want to be Dr. Google or they want to be WebMD. Through the help of your work, I personally have been able to understand in such a deep, sacred, intricate way of how my body works, how my gut works. Through my own research, I've understood so many different healing modalities of healing my gut as well. That's just one of the gifts that you are giving this world. The knowledge and the power of our food. What was the biggest lesson that you learned about food and the systems that make it through this transformative, powerful work that you are doing? Like you said, you are your own experiment.
Mm-hmm. The biggest lesson I have learned about the food system is that it's a business,
Mm,
and that's how it's treated by the ones who are CEOs of these businesses, these food businesses. It's a big business that is very deeply connected with the healthcare industry, which is also a business that is operating as a business, and we are their consumers. So when we take a step back and look at how we are participating in this dancery, in this whole ecosystem and consumer to producer relationship, we can see that we are being sold lies
Mm.
in order to profit the ones in business. So the food has to be pumped up with antibiotics and has to be pumped up with preservatives and things to elongate the shelf life
Shelf life.
so that the products for their business within their business model can last, right? Because if we were to take our homegrown food and put that on the shelf, we'll see that it doesn't last long. It's meant to be, as you harvest, consume. That's where it's highest in nutrients. It's most nutrient dense when you take the kale off the bread and eat it right there. It don't need all the extraness. And even with the animals like that they're selling, the dead animal carcasses that they have packaged, that they've pumped up with antibiotics to make it look more appealing and make it look more appetizing and all these things to elongate the shelf life because it's a product. So when you awaken to this awareness that, oh, these are products, this is not like an intentional, like divine exchange in their minds. This is a product. We have a profit margin that we have to reach. So we have to ensure that these products can last long on the shelves, and we have to ensure that we can pump up a lot of it so that we can sell to more people.
Feed the masses.
Exactly. So when you realize, oh, I'm just a consumer in their eyes, you start to realize that they have stripped the sacredness from the experience from us, and we're participating in it by choosing to stop at the drive-through, by choosing to ingest the inorganic matter on their shelves, by choosing not to claim our birthright of growing our own food. We are participating in the massive circus that is taking place around us. So that's something that I have learned. I have learned how they view us as consumers, and I have learned how they view food as a product, and that has revolutionized my own mind and how I view them and how I view myself too. Like I have to really embody true self-love too by letting my experience be sacred, which means omitting certain things from my experience because it's not vibrating on a frequency of sacredness and integrity that I vibrate on. So I have to let those things go, lovingly let those things go. And just part of my purpose and my experience is sharing that truth.
Letting go and unlearning.
Mhm.
A journey within itself.
That part.
Mhm. When we get back to the root of where God's beautiful sources, beautiful ingredients, fruits and vegetables, and the soil and the roots and the process of where our food comes from, we remember that food has this way of carrying stories and generations across oceans, across land, across time and space, whatever that may be. The recipes our ancestors have passed down through us hold so much memory.
Mm,
You know, we have these memories of the kitchen and we are using these rituals.
mm.
What ingredients in your beautiful cabinet, I could only imagine your repertoire.
Yay.
What ingredients feel most like a conversation with your ancestors as we honor their guidance?
Oh, thank you so much for this question and giving me the opportunity to bring my ancestors into the conversation and just put them on high. Some ingredients that are really important to me in my kitchen that help me to connect with my ancestor and feel like a conversation with them will be anything from Jamaica that grows locally because that's where a lot of my ancestors are and that's where a lot of my family is from. So the fruit called aki, anytime I make aki, I feel like I'm in conversation with my ancestors. Anytime I make like ancestral greens like kalaloo, definitely in conversation with my ancestors. Breadfruit, it's another food. If you can hear my baby screaming in the background, just know that all is well. Throwing her strawberries and having an experience right now.
We had to take a quick little pause, but we are back. Danielle, what sacred practices ground you when you are in the kitchen and preparing these beautiful creations?
Breath work, absolutely connecting to the breath. That in itself as a practice within the kitchen, especially, when it's a lot going on in the kitchen, having that centered breath, having that connection to the breath, connection to the now, to the here and now present moment, the practice of being in the present moment, chopping the vegetables, giving honor and reverence, full presence alone, that in itself can transform any kitchen meditation because that's what it is it's a meditation. When we come into the kitchen, this is the space in which we use our food as medicine. So having that understanding inspires me to be fully present in the experience and pour all of my sacred intention into what it is that I'm preparing and choosing ingredients intentionally as well.
Mm. One of the biggest blessings of my life was being raised in Trinidad and Tobago when I was younger. I had access to fresh fruits and vegetables and creating a relationship with the land and this abundant access to quality freshness,
Mm.
truly farm to table. That is something you are also a connoisseur of. There's so much healing in that. What has been the most unexpected healing that you have found through this work?
Mm. The unexpected healing that I have found in this work is being able to share it with my daughter and be able to intentionally pour that information and wisdom in her as she is a representation of the new generation and the new earth, new world that is being created, that we are creating. So doing that, having the opportunity to prepare healing food for her and give her the tools to then also give those tools to, anyone that she comes across, equipping her in this world has been an unexpected opportunity of healing for my inner child.
Mm.
So that type of self work brings a very high level of healing. So,
I love that. Our children are here to allow us to learn and re-remember. And that's just one of many of the gifts.
mhm.
I think the way that we've been living for so long, it feels like we've been stuck in this suspended animation We've just been kind of running, society as a whole, running as fast as we can, getting nowhere.
That part. Okay.
Stuck in the same
Like, exactly. Like, what?
we're stuck in the same practices and procedures for generations, and we continuously see and hear the signs that it's time for a new. It's time to turn a new page, to write a new chapter. And your revolutionary work has shown and proven so much of the old, outdated systems are false.
Mm-hmm.
What did our ancestors pass down to us, through us? They've been whispering, maybe even yelling, and we've just been ignoring them because I believe our ancestors are the blueprint.
And our ancestors exist in us, so we are the blueprint. They pass down everything to us. And some of the wisdom that they've passed down is like we're numb to it because we are under this spell of just like disillusion and not truth. Like we come into the world with the knowing and then we are programmed out of the knowing. We are programmed out of the truth. We are told what to do. I was speaking to this man, this farmer, actually, he was telling me that his son knew the alphabet in all these different languages, but as soon as he started going to school, one of the programming spaces of humans, right? He started to forget all of what he knew. And his father is watching this process happen his first year in school after being homeschooled. So just really interesting, just the systematic things that have been put in place at this time, how it makes us forget. And then so we have to come back to nature to remember, come back to the basics to remember. Put your bare feet in the grass and receive those codes of just the true grounding, the truth. Nature represents the truth. And so all these preservatives and things that they're putting in the food makes you stray away from the truth, away from the foundation, away from the fruit. It's like they're creating food-like substances and using the fruit as a blueprint, but then messing with the chemistry of it. And so now that in itself, the food is a programming as well, just like school is a programming. The food is a programming. And so we have to stay away from anything that they're putting their hands in. So we have to go closer to nature. And some of the ways that we can do that is by consuming the fruits of nature, consuming the herbs, because it's directly from the source, the mother. It's literally, she's birthing these fruits for us, this sweetness for us to consume and to remember and to nourish and to activate. So it's just coming back to source in all the ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we remember the wisdom of the ancients.
Say that one more time so they can hear you.
This is how we remember the wisdom of the ancients. Coming back to the truth, coming back to source, coming back to Mother Earth, coming back to the fruits of the earth, the fruits that she produces for us, the herbs that have the power to heal, have the power to activate, have the power to nourish you on a cellular level.
And so it is.
Ashe. Just remembering. Just remembering.
Mm-hmm. As you stand healing the community with the community, this elevated culinary experience that you have curated so intentionally for us here. You are pushing against these forces and battling institutions who really want to drown this information and just kill us.
Mm.
What is the responsibility that you have to yourself and your community through your purpose and through this work?
Is to be as honest and authentic as possible, because I know that is going to be the only way that God will really speak through me, is if I show up as authentically as possible and show up in truth. And I know that that's the medicine. And I know that not everybody's going to find resonance, and that's fine. But I do know that the ones who do find resonance is going to activate them on a level they always knew was possible and was there for them and available for them, but didn't know how. And my energy, my essence, my purpose is to reawaken that within the collective, and showing them that the way to get there is to pour into you, spend that time with you, get to know you, and you show up authentically and as love and as your truest, honest version, and pour into you on every level, mentally, physically, spiritually. Mentally, think kind thoughts, speak kind words, do not participate in gossip. Whenever you open your mouth, may you speak words as medicine. Physically, eat food as medicine. Commune with the herbs, build a relationship with the herbs, build a relationship with the earth as you commune with her. And spiritually, get into gratitude, high level gratitude. Get into prayer. Get into deep ancestral reverence. And get into love. Yes.
Yes. Oftentimes, I think so many people feel that as they're on the road to enlightenment, prayer and devotion and different forms of rituals and practices are the only answer. But as we know, the clearer your vessel is, the closer to source. Cleaning that out, cleansing it out, it's really becoming a clear channel so you don't have all that gunk inside of you. And Danielle, through your work, you have taught us that the road to enlightenment is also about what you put in your body. Can you tell us about the act of alignment that happens when you're fasting?
Mm. Your cells get space to cleanse and release and purge. If you are constantly putting something in your mouth, especially if it's not, of the highest light, you don't really give yourself time to release. It has to be a flow. It has to be a balance. So if you're eating every day, it would behoove you even a seasonal fast of just cleansing. You can do a daily fast of intermittent fasting and just taking time intentionally to let your digestive system rest, because it's always working. When you're eating, your digestive system is working. So giving it time to rest is important to bring the harmony, the balance within. So fasting, whether it is a daily intermittent fasting, whether it is a monthly ritual of yours, however you choose to approach the practice, approach it so that you can bring that harmony within. The first time I ever fasted, It was a water fast, and I went to a forest and I found a beautiful source of water just gushing through the earth, and I told myself, I need to just drink this water for 24 hours and nothing else and just cleanse. I did the fast. A couple days later, this mental clarity reached my experience that has never, like, I promise you, I was like, I remember looking in the mirror like, yo, like, my mind is so clear right now. Like, just having that awareness and just being able to sift through every single one of my thoughts like a file cabinet. Like, it was so, and I was like, oh, okay. So I took that time. I immediately realized the power of what I did with that water fast. I had taken time to give my mind everything rest and just giving my mind time to cleanse and giving my physical body, because they're all connected, mind, body, spirit. When you are doing the work in one dimension, there's other things happening as well at the same time, simultaneously. All of these systems work together, mind, body, and spirit. So my body was feeling good, but I wasn't expecting for my mind to be that clear. And so after that fast, I just became obsessed with the concept of fasting truly and just like really wanting to test this out, like different types of fasts. And so, yeah, it's been a divine journey, fasting.
There is nothing that could compare to that mental clarity.
Mm.
You feel the parasites just
Mm.
bye. You've committed your life to this work with true discipline and devotion and determination and divinity. And there may be some people who are trying to find the words and the power that you possess to say no to temptation.
Mm.
What has your most impactful no been on this journey?
Hmm. Oh, saying no to what doesn't serve me. Saying no to what does not reflect my highest light in that moment. Like my highest, even today, just like it's an everyday choice, because temptation can come in so many forms on a day to day, and we get to choose in those moments. Am I going to embody my light in this moment, or am I going to embody my shadow?
How do you have the discernment to tell?
You know, I feel into it, and also I let myself experience, like, none of us are perfect. We're all doing our best with the tools that we have in that moment. And through certain experiences we have, we collect more tools and more coins, spiritual coins and currency, and more wisdom to be able to better discern for future choices that will be presented to us. So I do my best in each moment to discern. And I think sometimes the Most High lets us wear the rose-colored glasses, or, you know, lets us kind of be blinded to certain things in certain moments, because there's certain wisdom that we have to collect through that experience of learning. So I remember I went to see Dr. Aris, who was a master raw foodist in Panama. And I was one of his first students at his Sunfired Life Culinary Institute, Raw Food Institute. It was 11 of us in Panama. One of his first students at that institute. He's been teaching for many, many years. And I did the whole raw certification, was really chefing it up. Like, we was creating some really divine, creative, beautiful dishes that blew my mind, opened my mind when it came to raw food. And I was really vibrating high, like waking up in the tropics, drinking the coconuts all day, like just, like always having access. Came back to America. And he told me before I left, he was like, if you choose to eat cooked food after this experience, you're going to experience these symptoms. You're going to have mucus, you're going to have, et cetera, et cetera. I get to America. I had the nerve to go and try some vegan mac and cheese, knowing I did not need to eat that. I did not need that. So I knew discernment was there. I just chose not to in that moment. And the next day I paid for it like no other. I had to cleanse myself after that. I woke up, had a breakout, I had all this mucus in my chest and like it was a mess. I was a mess. I had to do everything to heal myself and come back after that experience. That was really intense. So that's an experience where it's like I had to learn through the experience for real. So I knew, but it is what it is. It's like we're here to experience, we're here to learn, we're here to grow through all of our experiences. And so just honoring all of them. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I feel that so deeply, just honoring it, even in the moment when it's can be just calling you so badly. I remember last year, I've suffered with dry skin and eczema, but I knew at a certain point that it wasn't just here, it was inside that was having some problems. And one of my worst eczema flare ups, I woke up one rising. My face was so swollen, like my eyes, I couldn't see out of my eyes. It looked like I was beaten up so badly. My hands and my arms and even like my scalp was just red, inflamed. It was horrible. I could not see out of my eyes. It was such a dark time for me during that time, and it was a lesson I needed to learn because it had been building up, right? Like I was tempted to eat the ice cream, tempted to do this, tempted to do that. And in that moment, I knew, in that really dark time, I knew that only fasting and cleansing and the ancient modalities
Mhm.
were able to heal me. And in that darkest time, that brought me closest to myself. It brought me closest to source, and it catapulted me into a new way of living.
Mhm. Mm.
When that path was most dark for you, Danielle, what was the medicine that brought you out of it?
Mm. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And it's interesting because sometimes it's only through that experience are we able to truly learn. And what a blessing it is that Most High created you to be so sensitive, to be able to, your body responds loud and clear. This is not for you.
Yeah.
What a blessing it is, because some people is very subtle. So they don't have that awakening on a daily type of, and it builds up for years and years and it becomes
Yeah.
all these diseases and illnesses. So give thanks and praise that you had that blessing and be able to be so sensitive to what is for you and what is not for you. to be able to see that through your experiences.
Thank you for saying that too. Thank you for bringing that to light, because it's so true. It really is a blessing.
And for me, it's always coming back to source, always coming back to Mother Nature, always coming back to her fruits. That leads to the most expansive awakenings for me. Always brings me back to just the fullness of my presence. Like,
It's such a blessing to have a beautiful channel of communication with the Most High, especially in such perilous times. With this huge shift, I believe that we have chose to incarnate during this time of the awakening of this global new community that we are building. Sometimes the systems that we've trusted, not all of us, but some of us, we know that they're at their breaking point, and Babylon is crumbling, burning.
yes.
It's up in flames, and the call has never been so loud to rebuild. Right. Loud and clear to rebuild our communities intentionally.
On a firm foundation.
Yes. And what our new society, if you want to call it that, will look like.
We're literally co-creating with the universe right now.
We are. We are co-creating with the universe right now. As a leader in that, as you hold the pen, as we hold the vision that we receive from the divine, what are you drawing? What are you building? What are you fostering?
Building generational health, generational wealth. I'm building a generation of peacemakers, global leaders. Yes, it's time to rise and stand up. It's time to offer up your gifts abundantly. I feel like it's time to reawaken to the ancestral ways on so many levels, even bartering. Yeah, it's coming up for me. Like, share your gifts. That's my responsibility here, is to share what I have been given with full knowing that it will reach who it's meant to. And creating a world where my brothers and sisters feel free and encouraged to do the same, and feel free and encouraged to rise to their highest version, their highest expression, and really love themselves. That's what I'm creating. I'm creating a foundation of love, self-love, because we have been taught to hate ourselves in too many ways. So we're unlearning that. And in this new foundation of this new earth, we're planting seeds of self-love, true love, harmony, balance. And creating a foundation of just knowingness of how to heal yourself using Mother Nature's tools, using what we have been so abundantly given. So really tapping into our abundance, going a high level. Health is wealth, because if you don't have that, it don't matter how many dollars you got in your account. It doesn't,
Yeah.
because you can't buy time. And you can't buy joy, the joy that fills you when you can move freely without inflammation and just
And mucus.
oh my gosh, and be able to really speak and like that is wealth. I am wealthy and I'm so grateful to be so wealthy. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share the wealth because it's time, go. I mean, like we said, Babylon is crumbling in front of our eyes. It's on fire in front of our eyes. And it's time to rebuild something that's truly sustainable and eternal.
And it's happening.
And I'm grateful.
Yes.
I'm grateful to be on that side of history.
Yes.
Her story.
Her story. You are such a light. I'm so honored to have been in conversation with you.
Thank you so much.
Your new cookbook, Raw and Ripe. The ting is out now. The offering is out now. I'm so excited. Give thanks.
Ashe, thank you so much, beloved, for holding this space and inviting me into your space and just fostering this beautiful conversation.
Yes. God bless you. Thank you so much.